This is a tutorial on using the calendar function within Microsoft Outlook. Another self-paced tutorial that if you're comfortable with parts, go through them and stop at other parts if necessary. To find the calendar on your Outlook, you click on Calendar underneath Mail on the main Outlook page. Then you'll see your calendar. You can view it from a daily view, a weekly view, or a monthly view. I prefer to look at a weekly view to give me an outline of what's coming up for me in the week. I personally use the calendar to help organise my time, plan what I'm doing, and keep me on track. And I guess I've used lots of colours and categories. You don't have to do that, but I'll explain most of the options on how to use the calendar view. Firstly, if you want to create a calendar appointment, you just click on the time that you want to create. So I'll start by clicking for tonight's, and you can type in whatever you want in there. So I'll click in elective PD session, and you can extend that for as long as you want, so it's going for an hour. If you wanted to put in more details, you can double click on that or double click on the time and it'll open up a box. You type in the subject, the location, and the time that you want. You can also put in any notes about the event that it is. And up the top you have lots of options. You can set up categories. So I've got lots of categories set up here. For me, this would be a professional learning category. And you can go to all categories and set up any of your own. You can add categories, you can rename categories, and set colours for your categories. I do that because by looking at my calendar, it gives me a bit of an insight on what everything means. So it means something to me, it may not mean anything to you. When I've finished with adding my appointment in, I just click save and close, and that saves my appointment in there. Okay, as you can see, I've got my timetable in the calendar, and I suggest if you're going to use that, that's probably the first thing you put in. As you can see, we have TLC every day, or you have your classes within the timetable at the same time every week. You don't want to be having to put those in each day as they occur. So there's such a thing as a recurrence option on the calendar. So if I was to put something in at 1 o'clock, oops, double click, opens it up. I normally do the quiz at lunchtime at about 1 o'clock in the staff room. Now if I wanted to do that every day, I click the recurrence button, and while I'm on that, along the top are all your controls to change your appointment. So I can hit the recurrence button, and then I can say that's going to go from 1 to 1:30 every day, so daily. I'll have every weekday because I don't do it on the weekends, and I want it to end at the end of term, which is the 23rd of September. So I'll categorise that as a group meeting, and I can save and close that. If there are other people that I want to do the quiz at lunchtime with me, I can invite in attendees. So you might use this if you want to set up a meeting with a colleague and you know that they also use Outlook. You can invite anyone that you want to that meeting. So I'm going to invite Aidan, and you can invite more than one person. I'm also going to invite Scott and Kerry to my quiz meeting at lunchtime, and then you can just send, and they've now got a copy of that, an invitation to go to that meeting. And as you can see, it appears every day in my calendar. Once you set your calendar up, and it might take you a little bit of time to do that, so if you want to do that, you can stop and set your calendar up now, put in your categories, make it look all pretty. At a point when you've got your calendar set up, it might be that you want to share your calendar with someone else. There might be someone that you work closely with, that it's important that they can see your calendar so they know when you're busy, and likewise that you can see their calendar. So if you go down to here, and you've got a button called Share My Calendar, and I can click on that, and I just put in the email of the person that I want to share my calendar with. So for this, it might be I want to send a sharing invite to Kerry O'Brien, and I want to click request to view her calendar as well, and then I send that, and it asks me if I want to share it. I click yes, and it will send that, and she will get an email regarding me sharing her calendar, and I'll get one back. What's just come up, you'll get an email to say from someone whether they accept or decline your meeting. So Scott's already accepted my quiz at lunchtime, so then that will also appear in his calendar. Okay, so if I click back onto calendar, and then once you are sharing someone's calendar, you'll see their calendar up in the calendar pane up along here, and you can click their calendar, and it will open up a view, either that their calendar's over the top of yours, so you can see them both in the same view, or you can click and see them side by side. So for this example, I can see exactly what Aidan's got, and he can see exactly what I've got. So if we're wanting to meet, we can see each other's calendar. But I don't have to have that there all the time. I can click and have that off as well. Okay, so I think that's all for the basic functions of setting up a calendar. If you've got any queries, feel free to catch me around the staff room or around the library in this session and ask anything. I know I've found this really beneficial for me to use as part of my work, and hopefully that you guys can set up a calendar and find it just as beneficial for yourself. Thank you.